it's a winless battle for you to have that argument if you can't prove to that individual that the damage was already there before you got there. Hey guys, welcome back. So today I want to take a moment to discuss photos as it relates to your customer's experience, your operations, and then from the marketing perspective, how they can be advantageous as well. So I was sitting with a client today. He had received a phone call from a customer who was unhappy. They had just finished their new roof installation. The roof was great, but they explained to my client that they had damaged soffit. They addressed the fact that it wasn't there before. So upon receiving this news, my client reaches out to his crew lead as well as a salesperson and has a conversation as to what took place. It was conveyed to him that that damage was pre-existing. It had already been there. It would have been a simple enough remedy to go ahead and provide photos of that documented damage and explain to the customer that, before we began the installation, this problem was already pre-existing. But upon having that conversation, it was discovered that there was no documentation of that damage. This is why I recommend getting photos before the install, because in the event that a consumer claims was caused by your crew, it's a winless battle for you to have that argument if you can't prove to that individual that the damage was already there before you got there. The way that plays out is the customer becomes upset, it's your word against theirs, and you're put in a position where you've got to roll the dice and risk getting negative exposure for the company because this customer is insisting that you guys caused the damage, versus having it all clearly documented before you guys start anything on the premises and say, okay, we know that this damage was here. It was actually, here's a photo of it, it's timestamped. You can use apps like Company Cam, for instance. It's dated and timestamped that this was here before we actually started. We apologize for the inconvenience, but we'd be happy to come out and figure something out as far as getting that fixed for you. That becomes a much easier conversation and a less volatile conversation as far as making that customer happy and making them aware that your crew is not at fault. From the marketing side of things, to get photos before you start the job, while the install is taking place, as well as after, it can be leveraged in a lot of different ways that would benefit your company. Think, for instance, on your website, doing before and after photos, having a gallery, doing a recent projects page where you talk about what took place on each one of these projects, and then you show what it looked like before, and then you show what it looked like after. Those are the type of things that are very compelling for prospective customers who are coming to your site to take a look at as far as a testament of the type of work that you do. There's also other places you can leverage these photos. If you're doing flyers or if you're, Google business profile posts, the opportunities are really endless as far as where you can use these. What I find is that a lot of times we see a lot of in-progress photos, we see some pre-production photos. We really struggle to see contractors get that finished photo, which is a very nice piece of icing on the cake, if you will, as far as tying all these things together. So with that being said, the takeaway would be make a process around making sure that your team is collecting photos before the job starts, while the job's in progress, and post-production. And I think it's going to be a win for you all the way around. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back soon with more content.